hi, good morning. It's December 8th. Hey, that's a special day for me. And today might be a very special day with this radio. We may get it operating today. I think there's a really good chance that it's going to operate to some degree, to any degree at all. So, what I've done after raising my sense of certainty over things, I've connected the power supplies again back to the this big plug back here. I've got a B plus. I've got a B plus for the detector. I've got an A minus, or an A. Let's call it an A supply. I shouldn't say A minus. That's a mistake. Now I've got no tubes in the radio, so I think I'm going to bring all these power supplies up and just see what happens, and see if I can pull this off with no tubes in place before I go ahead and try this with tubes in it. So first I'm going to turn on the big supply, the heater supply here, which is kind of hidden way back here. Okay. Give us the 5 volts. You might be able to hear a cooling fan running in that supply now. A little extra hiss in here. Put this supply on standby. Let it warm up. I think I want to monitor the voltage of this quite accurately, so I am going to hook this up to this to a voltmeter over here. I'm going to have to monitor a couple of these voltages. Both the B plus for the tubes and the B plus for the detector. Actually, you know, I've got a pretty good voltmeter on the supply for the detector, so I think I'm just going to rely on that. Very good. Okay, so the switch on the front here is off right now, and I can see, because I can look over the top of my clock here, I can see the current indicator, the current meter on the supply back there. Kind of see it, but okay, so I'm going to turn the unit on. Good. No current flowing from the heater supply. There's no heaters to heat. Okay, let's get this guy going here. So this looks like it's on the B plus side is ready to run between 70 and 90, if I remember right, volts. So we'll shoot for shoot low at first to start. So we'll shoot for, in fact, if I do this, this meter is 50 volts full scale. How come my meter's reading already? 25 volts negative. Well, where's it getting that from? So it must be coming back from the radio. 25 volts. Where is there 50 volt scale? We're at 25 volts. From where? The mysteries never end in my shop. I only have one supply turned on, and it's a 5 volt supply. How do you get 25? Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this wire out and see if that disappears. No, it does not. Pull this out. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Oh, for crying out loud, it's the craziest thing in the world here. How can... Oh, I know it is a 0. I fooled around with the 0 adjust. That's the 0. That's 0. Let's make 0, 0. When I was using this as an ohm meter, I think because of a weak battery, I had readjusted all of that. Okay. Panic is over. But I might also reach the observation that I actually don't have this meter hooked up properly here. Okay. This is now properly on the output of the main B+. So I'm going to raise that one next. I'm just going to swing the camera around a little bit here so I can come in from behind. Keep your eye on the meter. Okay, so this is at 0. Flip it on. A little jump in the voltage there. This is drifted negative. I'm going to raise it up. Why didn't it go up? Okay, this is all set right now. So even with the unit, let's see, the standby goes a little negative. The lowest voltage we can generate on here, let's set right to the bottom, is 3-4 volts. Okay, let's take it up now. 50 volts would be full scale. Okay, I'm watching the current. No, there's no current flow. The current meter I'm looking at is right here. No current flow. Very good. Okay, the last one to fire up is the 22 volts. 22 volts is right up here. So we'll go up. Okay, switch to current. No current. 22 volts is about there. No current. Okay, I'm going to raise the other voltage a little bit. I'm going to watch this meter. I'm going to watch the other one too. See if anybody's behaving weird. Okay, so we want to put it's a little under 50 there. Oh, that scared me. Amps, 22 volts. So we have all three voltages in place. Nothing bad has happened. Okay, I think we're ready to stick some tubes in. So I'm going to shut off the set. Okay, nothing happened. Down on the B pluses. Set is off, the heaters won't heat. I should do this one tube at a time or do them all. I do not have a current meter connected. I think I need to set up a current meter here. Let's go ahead this way. If I have to do that, I'll do it later. Put in all these tubes. Now the detector tube is quite likely to not make connection. What I did for that is I put a tie wrap around the broken there you can see a tie wrap here to close this up so it will grip the tube properly. Let's see how this goes. But it may not be in contact. It's quite unlikely that this is in contact. These ones are pretty stiff now. This one's wobbly because there's no pressure between the pins and the locking pin on the side. Probably have to push this down a little bit. That's what I'll do. Okay, so first thing we do is we heat these tubes up. Oh, speaker plugged in. I gotta plug in the speaker. How do I know that speaker works? Have I ever used it? Jeepers. That's a good question. I think the answer might be no. Let me grab a battery here. Just see if it'll make any sound at all. Just a 1 volt battery. 1.3 volt battery. Yep. Made a sound. Okay, so we're going to plug this guy in. I realize these pins have to go all the way through. Contact that metal piece underneath. Okay, the volume, for what it's worth, is turned down. I actually have the signal generators actually connected to the antenna terminal there. Signal generator is putting out a moderate signal around the middle of the AM band. Yeah, I'm yeah, a little hopeful here, I think. The next step would be turn the heaters on, raise the general B+, and then raise the detector B+. Actually, you know what? When I push this, excuse me, there's a current meter on this guy. If I flip this button over to current, I can read the current. And wow, okay, so it's half an amp full scale, so it's not going to move much. I should be able to see it if I'm doing this. The current's coming and going. Okay, switching on the heaters. Are any of them on? Wow, that's a tough question. That's just a tough question to do unless it's dark. So I clearly see 2 tubes are lit. Quite clearly. These 2 here, you can't really see what I'm doing. Let me wiggle these other ones and just see. I don't know. Been fooled before, and now I'm gonna do that little experiment here. Bring on some light. Well, I gotta raise this one. I gotta get there. Okay, first of all, big B+. Big B+. And it's really this meter over here I want to watch. Not too many meters in view here. Okay, up to 50. It's about 50 volts there. A little low. Okay, we don't hear anything from the speaker, but would we expect to at this point? Anything at all? Probably not. Probably nothing. If I pop this tube in and out, maybe we'll hear something. But there's no B+ on. Oh! Excellent. Okay, that's great. Something happened. Hey, it works. Done. Next is the 22 volts. So we'll go up around 20 or so. Detectors like to operate with a lower B+. So we're on volts. We're going up. Oh my gosh. We put it at 20. Check the current. Oh my gosh, there's stuff coming out of there. Shouldn't sound like that though. One of my power supplies is coming with a hum. Let me knock down the main B plus, and just see if that disappears. Yeah. Okay. Now the volume control. I can't say I heard any change. Well, unfortunately, one of my supplies has a big hum in it. I've never heard a hum come out of these supplies before. If it's feeding, coming back from one of the voltmeters. Could that be? Never had that happen, so. Okay, despite the sound, maybe it's receiving that. We're going to try to feed a signal into this guy now. See if it comes out of the speaker. We're tuned somewhere halfway in the band. Okay, I'm just going to sweep a moderate signal across it. That's 900. I can't go lower easily. So what I'm going to do, look at the scale here. Oh, this is in meters, not in cycles or hertz. So I'm going to close the capacitor. Maybe you go for the lower. No, I want to go higher. Higher. Okay, so we probably would have gone right past the signal if it's coming through. So I'm going to raise this up to a very strong signal now. Check the calibration here. Okay, this is all she's got. We're at 900. If this receives it, I'll follow. It can't be this easy. Nothing. Really no variation in the speaker at all. Okay, chances are the detector tube is not detecting. Regardless of what's coming out of the speaker, I'm gonna, well, let's look at the current flow on the detector tube. Turn the power supply off. It certainly goes away. There's a tiny current going through that tube. That suggests it's working. It's hard to believe. Push it down. Ooh. Got a lot of things on high here. Let's just turn this back. Pressing this down. Okay, that certainly changed. There's definitely a contact coming and going. Okay, so we're going to repeat the scan test. Put this back up. High. Push this down. Tune the radio. Looking for 900. Something's microphonic too. Nobody's home. Now this radio has no intermediate frequency. It's not that, it's a TRF. It's all RF and then AF. There's no IF in the middle. Well, there's nothing coming out here. Let's turn this right up. Oh! That sounds like a radio. Oh my gosh. You're kidding me. Oh! stunned. It's working. Even the volume control is very effective. Well, we got to make this thing receive an actual station. To do that, I would want the radio to be operating at 640, or 590 rather. 590 is where there's a strong station, so I'm going to dial up 590 on my signal generator. 590, can you find it? It's faint, but it's there. Very faint. Oh. In case you're not a believer. The actual B plus voltage here we are using is just above 50. So it should be a little higher. So this is going to get a lot louder. We turn it up. Sounds a little distorted, so let's keep it down. About 55 volts here. Well, I can't believe this. I'm going to go and get a loop antenna, and we're going to run this thing and try to actually pick up a station with it. I can't believe it. Okay, so this is my loop antenna here. Made this when I was in college. I made it out of whatever I had. So this is a broomstick cut in half. And used all the wire I had. Yeah, it's just in college. Didn't know stuff. So this is kind of a random built antenna, but it turns out it looks pretty good. It's the 2-coil system. You have this coil here with four turns on it. Coil there with 4 turns on it, and then I have a tuning capacitor. A little hard to see in the camera. It's back here. Right here, to resonate this coil, and then this other wire is the pickup wire, and this is what's actually hooked up to the radio. So I'm resonating the coil, developing a signal, I guess you could say, receiving a signal, and then that's relayed to the radio via the single pickup loop. Okay, so we're going to disconnect the, I need a special connector here. We're going to disconnect the, disconnect the signal generator. I'll put this antenna on. That's for sure. Want this tugging. Okay, so I'm going to tune the capacitor. I'll resonate this coil. If I hit 590, we should know it on that radio whose volume is turned up. Okay, here we go. So far. Okay, so that did not work out. Putting a pretty strong signal from the signal generator into the radio. How do I know for sure this antenna is working? I haven't used it for a little while. I need to verify that. I can use the SDR to do that. So I'm going to get that together here. Okay, so I've turned down the radio by reducing the B plus while the camera was off, just for the few minutes it was off, the detector tube must have popped off its connections a little bit because I heard the hum go higher and the radio became very consistent in its sound. It doesn't sound like it was kind of scratchy before, so I think the radio's dead at the moment. But you can't hear it because I've turned the B plus down in favor of this. Okay, let's fire this guy up here. Did I already connect it? No, I have not connected it yet. So I'm going to connect the input to the SDR to the loop antenna. Give us a chance to see the response of the loop antenna. That's what you're going to be doing. Okay, there, it's connected now. Is my loop antenna working? So where are we here? Let's get this on the medium wave band. So this is the broadcast band. And I'm going to guess that the reason these signals look high here is because the antenna is reproducing them. So now I'm going to tune the antenna. And it doesn't make much difference. Tune it the other way. It's right at the bottom of the band now, if anything. Now I've got an auxiliary capacitor here. I'll switch in. Now I'll tune it again so we can get up to the high end of the band with it. Doesn't look very impressive, does it? The peak. It's not much. I think this used to work a lot better. So to get down to the bottom frequency, I've got to take out the capacitor and tune it. Well, I can see that's probably fine. You know, for crying out loud, we can just tune this radio to 590 and we can listen to it. Okay, tuning the antenna. Okay, I'm going to re-aim the antenna. There we are.
Justin, we appreciate the time today, man. Thanks for joining us and look forward to chatting with you again soon.
Okay, tuning the antenna.
That's where we said. All right, buddy. All right, I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it just because you're the guest. Wow. Yeah, just because you're the guest, Justin. That's it. That's it. There's Justin Termini, host of NBA Today on Sirius XM Radio, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Friday. You can follow him on Twitter. Termini Radio is T-E-R-M-I-N-E. Termini Radio. Again on Twitter. And see, I can do that, Jonesy. We can do that because as soon as the guy...
Okay, kind of weird for a guy on the radio to be pushing Twitter. Isn't that a little bit odd? Okay, let's go back to the shot. Okay, so the antenna is aimed, tuned. We are ready to go here. Hook it back up. Okay. Put the B plus back up on this guy here. There it's 65 volts. B plus. Volume up. What am I not thinking of? We have the radio tuned, we have the antenna tuned. Oh, pushing the tube down. Come on. I hear nothing. Doesn't take much of a push. Can't think of anything else to try here. Kind of at the end of the limit. Let's go back to the signal generator and see if we're still we're still close here. So that last signal is a ridiculously strong signal for a radio. This signal would be a strong signal for a radio. And you can barely hear it. You hear it at all. So it's just terribly insensitive. Okay, switch off. Switch off. Switch off. Well, what to think about that? I think that's pretty cool. I gotta detangle all these wires here. So, the thing about a radio like this working is that there's not much to it. A more modern radio with an intermediate frequency, there's a lot more going on than these radios. Basically amplify the RF, run it through a detector to get the AF, the audio frequency, then amplify that, send it off to your speaker. I don't know what to do with this now. I don't know if there's anything I can really do with it at this point. Very cool though. I wish I could get it to pick up a station. That would be the coolest, but I think I've given it the best shot I've got already, using the loop antenna, which provides a pretty darn strong signal. So I think you know, offhand, I think I may be done with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it aside, move on to another project, and if something comes to mind, or the owner of it has some ideas, the owner has an external power supply for this. And you know what, I have a couple battery replacing machines. Yeah, maybe what'll happen is the next video I do on this radio, he will have brought me his power supply. I will dug my two out and we'll go through them all and then see if we can make this thing operate to any degree with the power supply. So this is out of a beautiful piece of furniture. You can see from the front of it here. And this is back in the radio. It's a beautiful piece of furniture. So lovely. That's really great. Those big green coils working. Very cool. Okay, so I'm done for today. And thanks a lot for watching. And I'm not sure what'll be on the bench tomorrow. Something.